The nature of mental development and its meaning. Mental development is the way of life of a people, while the organization of the society of mankind follows on that way of life. Society is composed of people. They act, speak, think, behave, and the way they live signifies the expression of their mental development. In order to understand the development of any society of mankind, we have to study the pattern of their mentality. On a close analysis of mental development, we find a series of patterned actions and reactions that characterize the behavior of the people who constitute the society of mankind, in which we find them acting, reacting, behaving, thinking, rationalizing, and so on. These phenomenal forms of their mental development are taken as a totality. It is essentially a construction describing the total body of patterned belief modes of conduct, mentality, sensation, ideas, values, and goals that make the way of life of any people, the things people have, the things they do, and what they think and what they are. As far as the concept of mental development is concerned, it is very closely related to that of the values and ideas a certain society has, and according to which it wants to shape its life. In this sense, religion and philosophy form the root and the essential mental development, where and when they signify the inner experience and innate inspiration for reality, revealing it to man. The real meaning, the ideal, the value, and the purpose of life. In the Pali Buddhist tradition, the term which may convey the meaning of mental development in its spiritual and moral sense is derived from the root bhava, bhavana, bhavati, bhave, taba, rendered as mental development, cultivation, acquirement, and acquisition. According to Silva, the volitions arising in the processes of thought during the time of learning the Dhamma Vinaya or any arts, science, and so on are also included under the heading of mental development or bhavana. Woodward expresses his opinion that the word bhavana answers to mental development when he translates, "For one who has right view, the wrong view is worn out, and those diverse, evil, unprofitable states which come into being because of the wrong view, those are also worn out in him, while those diverse, good, profitable states, due to the right view, reach fullness of mental development, bhavana paripurim." In another place we find 3 branches of mental development, bhavana. Mentioned as bodily development, kaya bhavana, mental development, chitta bhavana, development of insight, Panyavaro, which points to the threefold training course, Sika, of higher morality, Adi Sila Sika, of higher concentration, Adi Chitta Sika, and of higher insight knowledge, Adi Panya Sika. This is a triad pattern of mental development in Buddhism, which its followers expect to develop, cultivate, and train themselves accordingly. As the Buddha said, being well developed, cultivated on the basis of morality, condition is of great fruit and advantage. Being well cultivated on the basis of wisdom, concentration is of great fruit and advantage. Being well developed on the basis of wisdom, the mind is set quite free from the defilements. In this way, the Buddhist standpoint shows that mental development is a function of wisdom, and wisdom is justified by mental development. Buddhism and its founder. Buddhism is one of the great religions which millions of people in the world have embraced and are living by. Buddhism is fundamentally divided into two schools: Theravada Hinayana school or Southern Buddhism, and Mahayana school or Northern Buddhism. The former, which adheres to the elders, is mostly practiced in Ceylon, Burma, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, etc., while the latter, as the developed form, is current in China, Tibet, Mongolia, Korea, Japan, and Vietnam. Buddhism literally means the teachings of the Buddha derived from his enlightenment. Such teachings are a collection of natural truths discovered by the Buddha himself. They always existed by themselves, whether the Buddha was born or not, and whether he had discovered them or not. The foundation of Buddhism is the tripartite. It is generally known as the Triple Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. The Buddha was neither a god, nor a prophet, nor an incarnation of God, but a supreme human who, through his own efforts, attained to final deliverance and perfect wisdom, and became the peerless teacher of men. He is the Saviour only in the sense that he shows men how to save themselves. The word Buddha in Pali means one who knows, or in a more definite sense, one who attains enlightenment, or the ultimate truth, which brings forth the end of suffering. The Dhamma is not a doctrine of revelation, but the teaching of the enlightened one, based on the clear comprehension of actuality. It is the teaching of the Four Noble Truths: suffering, the cause of suffering, cessation of suffering, and the path leading to the cessation of suffering. It fundamentally deals with the facts of life and with liberation attainable through man's own effort toward purification and insight. The Dhamma is a realistic system of ethics, a penetrative analysis of life, a profound philosophy, a practical method of mental development and training leading to the perfect wisdom. The Sangha, literally meaning the community or assembly, is the order of the Buddhist monks, bhikkhus, who became noble ones, founded by the Buddha. They exist perhaps in their original form in Ceylon, Burma, Thailand, Cambodia, and Laos. Buddhist monks devote their lives for the peace and happiness of people as their spiritual leaders, unhindered by worldly distraction. The Four Noble Truths refer to the Eightfold Path. It is taken by all schools of Buddhism as a means leading to the cessation of miseries. It is through this means that the mental development or spiritual life, as well as the final goal, is reached. It fulfills not only the practical way of life, but also the intellectual, for it contains within itself three elements: sila, morality, samadhi, concentration, and panya, wisdom.